Oh boy. Oh man. Hello everybody. Oh man. Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm. The series where lightning always strikes twice. So, typically, I don't do an emergency episode on the night before a regular Saturday episode of Lightning Storm, but you see some pictures of the Zord Ascension project ASTRO MEGAZORD have shown up. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting one. This is one of those episodes, one of those emergency episodes where I'm just kind of in a state of shock and freaking out because I'm just so excited and confused at the same time. So basically, it's a Friday night, and typically at this point I would be doing my Geek Each Week live show. In fact, I definitely was. And then I was alerted by one of our chat members, Thrasher, so huge shout out to them for letting me know that breaking news occurred. And so I ran over to Twitter, I ran over to Facebook, and the UK news group in the fandom, Ranger Chamber, posted 11 pictures of the yet to be revealed, yet to be announced, yet to be shown off in any capacity Zord Ascension project ASTRO MEGAZORD for 2023. So, first question, is this legitimate? Yeah, so I can say that. Now I can say that, I guess. So, I will admit that, yes, I had heard rumblings, and that was really all there was of it. There was nothing. So, like, you know what, I hear certain things for Lightning Collection, and a lot of times I have, different sources that tell me stuff in a pretty concrete way. And the ASTRO MEGAZORD was something that I had heard was potentially in development after Megazord, after Dragon Zord, as the next ZAP entry. Everybody thought, would it be Titanus? Would they do something else from MMPR? And I was always like, well, I'm hearing In Space could be the next one. So I knew Astro was being worked on. Didn't think it was this close to being done. I had figured maybe, depending on how far along it was, they would start to tease it or talk about it maybe at PulseCon next week. And they very well still might. I don't know if they're going to or not. And I also have no idea what the price point for this thing is going to be. I have not heard any kind of rumors on what to expect for that. But I'm so freaking excited. So I've wanted an ASTRO MEGAZORD my entire life, or ever since I've been a fan of Power Rangers, because it is my all-time favorite Megazord of all time. And I wanted to buy one at Power Morphicon, but everyone that I found was, of course, missing the typical pieces, or was extremely overpriced for, like, well, I mean, it's an older toy. It's an over 20-year toy, so, of course. But I also, in the back of my mind, I was like, you can buy an old vintage one, or just wait for that ZAP one is coming, and wow. So, ZAP MEGAZORD has had its complainers, it's had its problems with the cheapness aspect of it, with the design choices that Hasbro's taken with all that creative liberty to it. Dragon Zord kind of the same way. And, people have argued that, maybe that's there because Hasbro's trying to make something of their own, for these two iconic Zords that have been made a dozen, billion times from Bandai over, 30 years. The ASTRO MEGAZORD has never really had that. It never got like an artisan thing in Japan. It never got a legacy version here in the US or anything like that. So doing like an adult collector version of ASTRO MEGAZORD is something that's never really been attempted. So there's really nothing, there's no reason for Hasbro to really deviate from the design. And looking at these pictures here posted by Ranger Chamber, I really don't think they have deviated from the design. In fact, it looks next to perfect. I really have like no complaints with this thing whatsoever. It looks so good. So as you can see from this one picture, it looks like it's going to be 14.5 inches tall, which if I remember correctly, I think ZAP Dino Megazord is like 12 something inches, 12 and a half, so it's like a little bit bigger, and I don't know how accurate that is, comparing like Daijujin with, Galaxy Mega from Mega Ranger. I'm not sure what the actual like size comparison of those two robos were standing next to each other would be, but it's probably not going to be that bad of a difference. But articulation-wise, this thing looks absolutely fantastic. It has the sword, it has the shield, it has the gun. It can still store underneath the Megazord all that nice storage that you could always store all of its extra accessories, which is something I've always liked, except for the sword. The gun could become the boosters or whatever for the little command ship, or the Nasada ship, or whatever, the little shuttle. That's the word I'm trying to think of. And the shuttle looks fantastic. I love, I've always loved this Megazord so much. The functionality with the tiny little piece that becomes the head, and it docks in there, and all that stuff. Now, just like Dino Megazord, it looks like it's going to come with tiny little versions of the In Space Rangers, which look fantastic. Doesn't look like there's really anywhere for them to go, but that was the same thing on Dino Megazord. There was molded in cockpit ones, and then there was like tiny little ones and the cockpit ones return. If you open up the M on the chest, you can see the 5 Rangers sitting in there, which is in the same position that they would be sitting in the Astro Megaship mode. Technically, I assume that the cockpit for the Astro Megazord is in the shuttle. I don't exactly remember where that actually is. Most of the time, I feel like a cockpit's the kind of typical location you think of them being in, is in like the eyes of the Megazord or the head of the Megazord. And maybe that's accurate, and maybe that is true. Maybe there'll be like another tampograph sticker behind that face or something, but I think it's really cool that they have the Rangers sitting in the Megaship cockpit orientation, and then maybe there's one for the Megazord, but like, wow. This is absolutely incredible. Like, it looks fantastic. I love the extra detail on the side with the little boosters, the little rockets that are always a piece that's always missing. Of course, the original Bandai 90s toy was like that like dull gray rubbery plastic, and here it's like very nicely sculpted and painted and everything. I really don't see too much random design choices sprinkled in here like, you know, Hasbro did for the other ones. Let me know down in the comments below if you see that. I don't really see anything that doesn't look pretty show accurate to me. You know, this kind of being a technological ship and everything, I think that there's some aspects of it to where you could kind of get away with that and you wouldn't really notice its deviation from the original in-space Mega Ranger designs. Not as much as you would for, like, you know, the iconic Megazord or Dragonzord or whatever it may be. But like, wow, this is incredible. No pictures of the box yet, no idea of the price point. I have heard that there's gonna be something to go with Astro. You probably know what that would be. That's all I'm going to say on that front. I have no idea when we're going to see pictures of that, or if they're ever going to, whenever they're going to talk about that. I still don't even know when they're going to talk about this, but I'm so confused. I don't know how this happened out of nowhere. It's just so funny because like tomorrow's Lightning Storm, I know I recorded it, and in that I talk about for like a 12-minute segment. I haven't even finished tomorrow's Lightning Storm yet at the time of this video. And in there, I talk about like predictions for what we would see at PulseCon, and I said, oh, maybe they talk about the next ZAP. I don't name drop Astro in there at all because I wasn't ready to talk about it, but I didn't know that this would happen, and I still don't know how it happened. I mean, I know how it happened. Ranger Chamber got these photos and posted them on Facebook, but I don't know how they would be allowed to do that. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they were allowed. I have no idea. I love when stuff like this happens. I love this line so much. This is the kind of stuff that's just so much fun when these crazy nights occur. And so, I'm so hyped. And like I said, this has been like this is my favorite Megazord of all time. This is like my dream, like, you know, thing to finally own in my collection is an Astro Megazord. And for how good it turned out, I really hope the price isn't like too crazy, but like this is something that I would buy on a day one. Like, I'm still waiting on getting Dino Megazord because I have Dino Megazords. I'm not super impressed with the ZAP version of it so far, and so I want to wait on the clearance for that. But like Dragonzord, I've never owned a Dragonzord, so I'm kind of more inclined to keep my pre-order on that one. But this is a guarantee. I have to get this thing. It looks so good. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these pictures that have leaked out, or maybe have been allowed to be posted by Ranger Chamber. Like I said, I really have no idea of the Zord Ascension Project Astro Megazord coming to the Lightning Collection in 2023. And like I said, no idea when Hasbro's going to officially talk about it, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But now I'm even more, you know, curious of what's going to happen at PulseCon in less than a week. And also be sure to check out the regular episode of Lightning Storm tomorrow. I'm still going to give PulseCon, you know, like predictions and such like that, but I'll probably film like a little addendum clip to throw in there to talk about this occurring, because at the time of me recording that, I had no idea this was going to happen tonight. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR. Can't wait to read your comments down below, and I'll see you all on Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice. Oh man, so excited.